I am a content product lead on YouTube's HEDU content, which is their help center content. I basically, write and edit and plan help center articles for people trying to use YouTube TV specifically. My former team, who actually recently won their bargaining unit, big ups to them, experienced a mass layoff when Google believed it possible to ostensibly replace them with this like automated writing generation. They're now rehiring because that was less true than Google thought. But that doesn't change the impact on people, right? That doesn't change that for the H-1B visa holder, they're up against a ticking clock before they're deported. I overheard a conversation that indicated the replacement of a person's voice in a video, like a tutorial video, via like AI voice generation might be possible. And they were talking about it in the context of, just a quick patch fix for oh, you flubbed that line, so we'll just fill it in with that tool. I've been in this space long enough to know that there is a point when that patch fix becomes we can just have the tool do it. Tech is driven by venture capitalist investment, and that means that companies want as few workers as possible, especially when those workers aren't building things, aren't engineers creating a new thing. The more that employers can chop up your workday as the times when you are not working are not considered work. I think of the raters, the people rating Google search algorithm. They might sit at their desk for 12 hours, but they're only getting paid for the rating time they're doing. They might only get paid 7 hours of work for those 12 hours. That's a 12-hour workday. In any other context, and same with Uber drivers, right? Like they may spend 12 hours in their car and they may get paid $60 for the fares for that day. And I think tools like the mouse tracking, the keystroke tracking are there for the company to be able to eventually say, well, we noticed that you weren't actually working for the entirety of those 8 hours. Therefore, either you're on a performance improvement track or we don't want to pay you for that time, whatever it is. That's kind of the inevitable conclusion of what makes those tools profitable.
In an NFL football game, the amount of actual playing is about 12 minutes. Could you imagine if some corporate manager came in and said, hey, listen, we're going to pay you for 12 minutes of football?
I think that's such an accurate like recognition of what is happening here, though, of like, would you call all of the time that a player sits at practice time when they are not working? Would you call the time that they spend reviewing film not working? Would you call the time that they are there at the game poised and ready? Like, they are active, they are engaged, they are ready to jump in when the work calls for it. And part of what the work calls for is that, taking the time to whether sit there and think or recognize that they're not yet. I think it's a really apt comparison. I think that we would see very few people being actual full-time employees with benefits, with time off, paid time off, I should say. I think we would see a real, not just gutting of like healthcare, but also things like ergonomic support in the workplace, right? Because if your workers aren't able, they're not your that's not your problem. I think it is everyone is contingent workers getting paid only the time they are directly doing work, and the amount they are getting paid is not enough to live on, and they are so tired from their workday that they don't have the capacity to organize for anything more. That has implications on housing. It has implications on literally who lives and dies on the basis of whether it's chronic conditions, disabilities, neurodivergence, people's ability to find equitable or even just more equitable working conditions are life or death situations.